Okay, so welcome to this brief introductory and instructional video for the Lightwriter SL40 that is produced by the Toby Churchill company. This is an assistive communication device which is used for disabled individuals who require assistance with text-to-speech. The device is useful for making phone calls and SMS, as well as face-to-face communication and the like. So I first want to start by saying that in the case that I'm trying to solve for here, my father needed some assistance getting this device set up on a carrier network, and we had a lot of issues trying to work through that. So I am going to record this and share this to hopefully help other people work through any issues they might have. So first and foremost, getting the device information necessary for setting it up on a carrier network was a bit problematic, because the instructions aren't exactly clear on where to find all the necessary information for the device. In particular, the device, all devices that connect to cell phone carrier networks have an identifying number on them called an IMEI number. This basically uniquely identifies the device to connect to the network, in conjunction with what comes on this, which is the SIM card, which goes into the device. It's shaped like this little, this is actually a larger, older generation SIM. Newer SIMs on modern smartphones are about half or 2/3 of the size of this. Anyway, they come with this little notch, so you'll know that it's the SIM, and this is just a Go phone card for AT&T, branded. It has identifying information on here. ICC ID number on this card is actually important for signing up with AT&T, which I'm not going to necessarily walk through, but I just wanted to illustrate. The card itself has a little chip on the back, so that's how you know that's the SIM. You can actually buy that like a Best Buy or whatever, any store that sells cell phone or works with cell phone providers, or you can go to any store, any provider, Sprint, AT&T, etc., that provide either month to month or pay as you go. So we just chose to do pay as you go for phone calls with this. So anyway, for the device itself, flip it over, and on the back, and I'm just getting a little bit closer, hopefully the resolution is good on that. We can see at the bottom for this particular device, the IMEI ID is at the bottom here underneath the SIM panel. So the SIM panel, there's two little screws to take this out, and it opens up to a little latched insert for SIM, which is very similar to most cell phones. So anyway, so installing that, you do that with the power turned off. Work it out with your network provider to get your service turned on, and so on. So onto the meat of this instruction. So I really am just going to walk through some major functions of the device. So I'm going to start by powering it on, and this actually takes a minute, so I'm going to actually stop the video and restart that in a second. Okay, so now the device has finished booting. It took about, I don't know, 30 to 60 seconds or so, and it's actually still booting in the background. And I want to point out something very important here that I've discovered, is that if you try to, in the resolution on the screen, you may not be able to see all that. I can't really tell, but actually you can hear it there. It connected to the network. And so let me just move all this stuff out of the frame because it's distracting. So in the past, I've actually turned this thing on and then attempted to go directly to the phone, which for a quick key is number 2. You can actually also see with the keys here, there's this navigation, back and next, and do. So those are the major controls for interacting forward and back with the screen, which I'm not sure if it's picking up as it's changed. But anyway, so going into the phone, you can actually see that hopefully it's connected to the AT&T network. As I said, from my experience, I wait after you've turned it on, wait a good 30 seconds at least before trying to interact with the phone, because what will happen is if it has not connected to the network, and I've tried to make a phone call, it obviously errors out, and it basically just, for troubleshooting purposes, it was kind of painful. So anyway, better off just letting it do its thing, connect to the network, and then before you try to interact with the phone. So I will show a couple other major functions, but I want to first show off the phone. So to send an SMS or to call a phone and or check your balance, you can actually, I think, connect with the service and show that, but I'm not going to. So SMS sending is, again, from the main screen, you go to go to phone, and then you can hit 1 or 2. 1 is SMS, 2 is phone. So we'll send a SMS. I actually happen to have my phone handy here, and it will provide you a prompt to send a message. So I will just send a canned message here. Can you call my phone? That's good enough. And then hit do. And then it'll say select contact, and it'll give you options: enter number or contacts that are already in the system. My father had already entered a couple of numbers in here, so I'm just going to go to select items. If you notice that it actually doesn't have 1 or 2 in here, so you actually can't hit 1 or 2 to select these. You have to use do. I'm not sure why, but anyway, that's just this menu. I've gotten so many layers deep that that's just the case here. So anyway, I'm going to select the contact and go to mine. And yes, I would like to send an SMS to myself. So you can audibly hear a disruption in the speaker from the radio when it's transmitting or receiving, which personally I find very annoying, but I also understand why it's not really feasible to shield from that, since this is a loudspeaker on the back of this device, which, I think there are other videos that sort of show off this device in more detail, but anyway, so I picked out a message and it said SMS sent. Checking my phone, and I see that I received the message, so that's good. So I'm also going to test a phone call. At the risk of getting some feedback, though, I'm going to ensure that this device is in a silent mode, and I'm also not going to actually answer it really, but I am going to transmit to my device the text-to-speech. So I'm going to back out by always exiting menus by hitting this on C to clear, sort of like a calculator, clear, and then go back to the phone again, to audio phone, to, and it gives you options on this menu to call, check your voicemail, call history, or phone settings. I'm going to settings quickly, but You can change answer phrases, so if somebody actually calls you on this device, or change the way the microphone works and the loudspeaker work. You just basically just turn them on or off, which I think that's only useful for on and off if you don't intend to speak through this device. So you can turn the mic off. There's also some ports on this side where you can put in headphones and a mic. But if you're not able to speak well, or if you want to have somebody else in the room speak for you, then that's useful. And then you can also type, peck out a message in real time, or have some of the canned responses ready. So anyway, getting back to the thing here. So I'm going to call, again, gives the same menu here, enter a number or contacts. So I'm going to go to do my own contact again. And then it says selecting a like a canned phrase or entering text. So I'm going to go to selecting a phrase, and it has a bunch of phrases that are already programmed in. So I'm just going to select the first one, which is just explaining this is not an automated message. Please do not hang up the phone. And it's going to say, do you want to make the audio call now? Yes, I do.
Hi, you've reached Jesse Hetty. I'm sorry, Mr. Call. This is not an automated message. Please don't hang up.
Okay, so it would have been difficult for me to speak over all of that static that it was feeding back, which frankly I would find very annoying if I was trying to use this. But considering that it's an easier way for somebody who can't speak to communicate, then you kind of have to do with what you've got. Anyway, so there's a couple things that I did there that I will try to iterate through. So as soon as it connected the phone, there's a screen that came up that showed like a sort of an iteration for the conversation. So you could start typing things immediately, or the autofill words that were along the bottom. It's not exactly intuitive, but when you've pre-selected the phrase, it doesn't just automatically blurt out as soon as the phone connects. You have to hit do to start those phrases. And mine bumped straight into voicemail deliberately, but anyway. So yeah, and then to end the call, I had to hit clear, and then an option came on the screen to say, do you want to end or continue? And I chose one, I believe, or do, I can't remember, to clear to hang up, basically hang up the call. So so that's about it as far as phone calls are concerned. Again, if you want to peck out a real-time conversation, you can, and I'm sure over time people will get very used to this. It's a standard QWERTY keyboard layout, so it's fairly comfortable to type on, but this keyboard's kind of small. It's like maybe 10 or 11 inches. So but I mean the thing is fairly lightweight and transportable, which is awesome. It comes with this bag, and so on. These other little doodads up here are just power. This thing is a little USB backup, so if you make a bunch of changes to the system that you would like to back up, I think the USB port's right there. So you can jam that in there, and then there's a command in the main menu for that. This is a little screwdriver comes with it, just to open up the SMS panel on the back, or the SIM card on the back that I mentioned. And yeah, so trying to think of other major commands on here that are pertinent. So I'll go ahead and go back, of course, to the primary function of this thing, which is to talk. I have tweaked some settings here from the way this thing was set up for audio, and you can change volumes and speech volumes and alert volumes and phone, and put it on silent mode or not. You can also change the speech modes and say how you want it to speak. So if it's a whole sentence, you just speak out the whole thing, or if you want it to speak a word at a time, and then you manually go through the sentence, the rate at which it speaks, so how fast it's doing. Like right now it said 60%. You can slow it down or speed it up. And I believe in here somewhere there's a way to change the voice, so you can change like from a male to female, or different tones of male or different tones of female. Anyway, so I'll test some talking on here, and it'll just do it out loud and at a certain volume that I don't remember what I set it to. So anyway, okay, can you call my phone and do, oh, it's muted, whoops. Let's see. Silent mode off. Okay. Okay. So now you can hear all the clicks and clacks and all the other feedback that it gives. So it actually will typically give you some sort of audible feedback, which is useful also for, for this assistive technology. So anyway, back to the speech. Try this again. Can you call my phone? And we'll be, please, because I like being courteous. And this little mouth guy on here will speak it.
Can you call my phone, please?
That's about it. So it's pretty straightforward. Clear that, and it'll let you continue to talk and type. Somewhere deeper in the guts in here, which I've not gotten very proficient with this. There's ways to use some of these function keys and shortcut to whole phrases, which they're stored and you can edit the phrases. But again, maybe I'll just do a separate video on that entirely, because I just really wanted to cover the basic functions of the device for now, mostly to help my dad out, but I figured I would sort of speak to this as generically as possible to help other people, because of the troubles that I ran into. One last parting thought too, for AT&T, small quirky thing, as of this recording, this is October 25th, I think, 2014. It's late, so maybe it's the 26th. Anyway, their website to refill for AT&T GoPhone has a bug in it, and it doesn't work with Chrome, Google Chrome. So don't make the mistake I made and have to deal with all that junk where I had to get on the phone and call them repeatedly to try to figure out what was going on, when I could have just tried a different browser. And I've also asked them to put in a bug with their managers to fix that. Anyway, so yeah, that's about it for now, and I hope that this was helpful to you and anybody else you might be trying to help too. Thanks.